Hey, this is Crinus. We're back again for day 3. I apologize for the delay. I've been having ridiculous amounts of technical difficulties. You'll see a lot of that in the video, in fact, unfortunately. So if you see any slowdowns or skips, that's the problem. I am looking into new software and hardware to help resolve the issue. What I'm doing here is showing you some stats that have changed. I did a little bit of farming for some of the gear I have here, which I will also show. But I did not pick up any items other than drops from the hollows just outside here, or kill any important monsters. I really like that rolling R1 with the two-handed longsword, but it's kind of hard to aim. But it's very powerful and very convenient when it does connect. I left to do something, but I don't recall exactly what. But then I realized I wanted to level and ended up heading straight back, which is silly, but whatever. Should note that it's been a few days since I recorded this video, so I've most certainly forgotten a few things. I've watched through some of the video again a couple of times here, but I've probably still missed things, so if I don't comment on something, that's probably why. Also, as much as I love this game and FromSoft, somebody over at FromSoft has to learn about musculature. I hate fighting these guys. I try to take it slow here. I think I get clipped a couple of times, though. Double checking the brightness because it seemed really dark, but it was just my monitor setup. I think I actually did turn it. Yeah, I did turn it up and left it up for a little while, just because my end footage was coming out pretty dark. Frame rate dropped there pretty seriously, and I was trying to figure out how to deal with it. You'll see the first of many odd cuts here that where the footage was just got so bad I actually had to cut to a future scene. In any points that it happens, I will try to tell you if anything happened during it, but in most cases, a few little things just died and it wasn't important. Frame rate's still absolutely dreadful here, but I managed to take him out anyway. There's another of those cuts. You can clearly see that nothing happened there, though. Gonna go over here and say hi to Lotrick.
Oh, then as you could... Thank you. I try.
Again, with the skipping without thinking about it, I really have to work on that, but hopefully most of the people who are watching this video series have already read or seen most of the dialogue. That would have been a little more entertaining if I hadn't had to actually redo one of my emotes to make that work. Havoc physics, baby. Calling in Sumbro here. No particular reason, I just like getting the hero medal from this one. Sun medal, I should say. And yet again, I unintentionally skipped something I didn't mean to. That wasn't a cut, that was full on me just pressing the button. I figured this would be a pretty easy fight, especially with Sunbro here. This longsword does a ton of damage right here. And then I roll off the building. I basically had that fight and rolled right off the side of the building. Just meant to roll forward, didn't pull it off. Yeah, that was a bad idea. I barely got out of there. Not gonna bother to summon anything this time. Obviously, seems I'm still in hollow form. I figured it was so easy last time until I, rolled off the building that I didn't really need to worry about it. You can actually use the roof here to block his weapon a little bit if you're really careful, but it takes a bit of practice, and I usually just get hit in the face. As you'll see here, anybody who tells you you can't get good damage out of a basic early weapon, or vanilla as people have taken to calling it, they're just full of it. I didn't do much work here. Most of the materials I used on this sword I actually got while you were watching. And you'll just get them naturally as you play, and just even at the +5, you see this longsword is destroying them when I'm not getting, destroyed by fire. Eating some fire to the face. I was pretty nervous here. I thought I had dropped it and was going to die. Got out of the fire, but I got out of the fire there at least. Barely had enough stamina to block those 2 hits. For some reason I got focused on the front guy and then ate it, and then they just cooked me. Managing to make those easy fights look difficult. Oh yes. As soon as I ran past him, I knew that that was a stupid idea. And there you see the result. I couldn't wait for them because he was behind me. And I got sandwiched between a bunch of hollowed. Now, at first glance, it seems like I just wasted that ring of sacrifice. And I admit I had thought I had for a moment as well. But a little known fact that I had forgotten at the time is that if you die with a ring of sacrifice on, you do not, obviously you do not leave a blood trail, and your previous blood trail actually stays. So those souls that are on the roof are still there actually, due to that ring of sacrifice that broke early. I decided to take the lift down here and go to the Firelink Shrine, so I didn't have to run through those first 3 skeletons before going up. This route takes slightly longer, but there's no combat until you get to the stairs. tried to make the jump there to grab the key from the rooftop nearby, because I was going that direction anyway, but I failed abysmally. You'd think you can fit behind there, but that chest is pretty solid. My frame rate was tanking a bit here again, but it was actually pretty playable still, so I wasn't too concerned about it. There's a hollow over there that's absolutely trolling me and making it so I can't actually light the fire. When I ran past him there, I was pretty sure he was going to hit me, but for some reason he just stood there. Decided not to let these guys wail on me when I ran through this time around. The one-handed thrust attack is actually exceptional for killing them, as you can see. And here we are with round 3. Those of you who were alarmed by my lack of blocking with the shield will probably be a little happier at this episode, even if it didn't really work out all that well. That said, I still only block a little more, and most of the times where I am blocking, it didn't actually work out all that well. Not sure why I dropped my guard there. I actually had some pretty sick dodges in this part of the run. Just about rolled off the roof again there. Yeah, that's about time. If you're wondering why I keep stopping and looking around, I thought I'd give you guys a view of some of the interesting locations you can actually see from here. In spite of what some people think, they are not the same versions you run around on. They are just really well done, but empty models of the same places. So you'll notice that some of the details aren't there, but they still look exceptional, and I'm still really glad that From actually put them in there. Or at least I don't think they're the same versions you actually explore. I'm pretty sure it actually streams that content. So the building might be there, but all the little details, I don't think they are. Again, as I said, you'll see here soon that some of the details are missing. Also, that's a nice pillar there that I managed to get only the pillar in the view there. Pretty decent view there of the area where you fight the boss for Sen's Fortress or later, the big giant. Guess it's an iron giant? I don't remember.
Greeting, thou art a friend. For thee, a warm welcome. Cometh.
And presto, we have the best pose in the whole game. Of course, then I have difficulty managing the emote menu? Huh? Didn't feel like running back, so I homeward boned. You can see that I'm actually online there. You can see another player there. I'm absolutely positive I'm going to regret this save being online at some point, but now that it's actually online, I can't put it offline, so... Well, without actually just disconnecting my internet, but then there's other problems that come with that. I wouldn't be able to actually access this save. I'd have to access an offline profile. Not sure why I decided to fight them, but I fight some of these Balder Knights here. They are pretty fun to fight, especially if you take all three of them on at the same time. It can be pretty interesting. Botched the parry there, though, which made things complicated. Whee! That was the weirdest shield block I've seen. That just hit the very rim of it. This is a pretty good lesson on how not to fight the Balder Knights, but it was pretty fun anyway. Grab the always lovely halberd, although I probably won't be using it anytime soon, if at all. But I really do enjoy the halberd. It is a great weapon, especially for PvE, although as multiple people have pointed out in many videos recently, it's still a pretty good weapon for PvP. You just have to really know how to use it, because if you miss, you're pretty much toast. I probably should have just stopped recording there, but I was feeling really good about the performance at that point, so I thought I would continue for a little while. Also thought it might be fun to take on this Black Knight here. The Black Knights are, again, a great challenge, and they give some pretty good rewards. This one can be pretty challenging because with that greatsword, he can hit you basically anywhere on here, and he's got some interesting attacks that are kind of hard to dodge or block. Like that one. So the reward for that one wasn't all that great. You can farm those, but it wasn't that bad either. I don't think I would have used, in fact I'm almost certain I would not have used a Black Knight sword if one had dropped anyway. But actually it wouldn't have dropped from him anyway, and I definitely wouldn't have used the great sword. I do actually like the Black Knight weapons, but they're not great for all playthroughs, and they can be quite challenging to attack with sometimes. Hello, Hellkite. I thought it was pretty cheeky to run back this way. A lot shorter than any other route. Pro sign right there. Not only does it block the stairs, but it's totally obnoxious. Thought I would unlock the shortcut up here. It can be quite handy if you have problems down there, or if you just get tired of fighting the various things down there. I only killed that guy because I thought he might actually follow me. Had the bright or stupid idea to try to nail these dogs with spells, but they're actually really hard to nail with the spells. And their attacks are so quicker, I should say, that you really shouldn't try it. As I just demonstrated.
Somebody.
There I go again, skipping dialogue I didn't intend to.
Brilliant.
I think I'm just going to stop worrying about it. Like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure most people watching this LP have probably already
Oh, hello.
read most of
I'm
it.
fine. I have
If you haven't, well, I apologize. That said, I'm not going to actively try to skip it. I'm still going to try not to, but I'm not going to worry if I do either. If you walk up to these first few doors, as I think I'm going to do here, you can actually kill these bandits from behind the door. You should use two-hand rather than one-hand, or you just knock them back too far to actually hit them a second time. With the two-hand, you can just kill them outright, assuming you do enough damage. But even softening them up a little bit for free is actually excellent, because they can be quite dangerous, especially if they're backstep maneuvers. The thrust attack is pretty good for these guys too. It's good for finding those little openings they have. You see me looking around the corners there, I couldn't remember if there was one there or not. I really like the bandit set, especially on male characters. It's still pretty cool on female characters, but I don't like the headgear as much or the leggings. Sadly, in this case, it's actually a bit too heavy for me, and so I think I end up taking most of it off. And by most of it, I mean pretty much all of it. Didn't actually intend to fight the Capra Demon just yet. Actually just came there to get the Griggs, actually, so I could buy spells and stuff. Particularly the first version of Magic Weapon. Magic Weapon and Greater Magic Weapon are going to be primary tools for this build. Probably Power Within as well. On the PC version of Power Within, you can even still upgrade your Pyro Flame without having to worry about the power within damage increasing, which it would on the console versions. So that's pretty nice. You don't need a second pyro frame just for using power within anymore. Although I don't think I can actually take my pyro flame higher than +10 anyway. I don't even know if they will upgrade it at all. Actually, I might be able to. I think the requirement for Quilana to spawn and be able to upgrade your, like, ascend your pyromancy flame is actually 15 intelligence. But it could be 18. I can't remember right now. I know technically there are other requirements, but when doing a normal playthrough like this, all the other requirements will fulfill themselves quite easily. I believe I only came this route in hope of getting some humanity from the rats early on. For some reason I randomly forgot that I couldn't have anything more than the boots on. I don't know, I'm weird like that. Another one of those really awesome tips. Those of you who prefer the sword and shield are probably going nuts right now with me taking hits because I'm too stubborn to actually pull the shield. I maintain, however, trying to use the shield as little as possible will make you a better player overall. Even if you prefer a turtley style, it will still improve your game style. Your gameplay, I should say. Totally missed the walk off there and ended up in a rather weird situation there where I was bouncing off his head Mario style. If you pull out your bow there, you can actually shoot them in the back and they'll fall off. That said, you can do it with your sword for the most part anyway, but I think you can knock one of these two off as well. Incidentally, if I'd been two-handing there, that the follow-through from it would have actually been enough to hit both of those guys, so I wouldn't. So it's certainly one of those situations where the two-handed works rather nicely. I think a lot of people actually underestimate the range of the longsword when you're two-handing it. Always try to kill the rats when you see them. They have a really high chance to drop humanity compared to other monsters. And one or two here or there can actually make a really big difference when you're running back and forth between them. I thought I was going to fall off there, but I just barely held on, obviously. I shouldn't have bothered to even loot that, especially considering I knew that he was going to throw something there and I would probably get hit by it. I'm not sure what I was thinking.
Oh, hello. I regret meeting
We'll blame it
you.
on an OCD that I
Incidentally,
barely
you're
have.
Of course. I am... Well, then.
I'm looking for magic weapon, but for some reason I'm
Goodbye,
looking
then.
at great magic
Do-
arrow and thinking I need more souls. I noticed that Lotric wasn't there, so I quit game real quick and warped back in. I saw no reason for you to see the stuff in between there, though. The intro and
Well,
whatnot.
what have we here?
I had originally planned to take on Lotrek, and I'm honestly not quite
You
sure why I
leave me
suddenly
no
decided I would, but
choice.
once it started, I
I
couldn't
was
really do much
once
about it. It wasn't
grateful
worth
to
getting
you.
atonement for it.
But if this is
I
our
suppose I'm just
fate,
used to doing it.
so be it.
The two things that can make fighting him challenging is that his shotel will actually go around your shield, and he can parry, as I just demonstrated, and it hurts quite a lot when he does. In retrospect, it's an actual situation where I really should have stuck with my style of two-handing and just done more accurate dodging. But for some reason, I was sort of reluctant to do so. I don't really understand what was going through my head at the time. I was sort of nervous about hitting the guy in the background there. I can't remember what he's called just off the top of my head right now. But I wasn't worried because I could have killed him, but more because he would have made the fight even more difficult than it already was. I think that's only one of 2 times I've actually died to him. Usually I can overpower him quite easily. I'm not sure, like I said earlier, I'm not sure what exactly was going through my head. I sort of just took that fight from the wrong side entirely. When I was recording this, it wasn't true, but now there's actually a alpha version of a 60 FPS fix for the game, made by the same person who did the high-res fix and whatnot. But YouTube actually downscales, like slows you to 30 frames anyway, so there's not much reason to use it. Not sure where I was going there, but I realized last second that I didn't need to go over there. For some reason, I had a total brain fart here and couldn't figure out why the bonfire didn't work. So I run up and kill a hollowed up there that I didn't need to, before remembering that Lautrec is sitting down there waiting for me to fight him again. Once I took off my shield, I had quite a lot more weight to work with, although not quite enough to put on the gloves, as you can see. But there was no real reason to do it. It doesn't make a difference, but I figured I was going to two-hand anyway, so there was no reason to have the shield on. I should have hit him again there. I hit stunned him, but I got nervous and hopped away. You'll notice that with the two-hand, he's actually quite easy to hit stun, so I can actually sort of plan on doing it. I got sort of lucky on the stairs there, though, because he could have hit me quite easily and probably finished the fight for his favor.
You despicable.
Just about did anyway. It was about a half-inch from where his blade stopped in my face. Not particularly proud of the way I fought that, but whatever. He's dead, I'm not. I was about to level there, and then I remembered I was going to buy a spell, which I had thought was going to cost more than it actually does. I believe I thought it was going to cost like 5k for some reason. I think I had been looking at a different spell, the Greater Magic Arrow. It was asked of one of the previous videos, but you will see me running around with a fair bit of humanity. It'll even be one of the few things I will actually farm. It makes you a bit tougher, gives you better drops, and it's nice just having that pool there. It can add a little bit of an extra element to surviving in the game as well. You know, just one more challenge. I really thought that hit him, but if you watch the video, it actually missed him by like a half inch. Some huge gaps here from the frame rate problems. It dropped to like 2 or 3 frames a second, and I just cut all that footage out. It's only a few seconds here or there. So at this point, I was still acting under the false assumption that I needed more souls. Not that having more souls hurts, but I actually do a tiny bit of dragon farming here, or hellkite farming, I should say. And I didn't need to do it, and it shouldn't have been in the video, but I didn't want to create yet another large gap here by removing it once I had realized my mistake. So you guys just get to enjoy me being silly. I have no idea what I was looking in my inventory for. I guess I decided I needed like 8,000 souls. There was nothing in that menu that actually required 8,000 souls, so I must have just completely imagined the number. Not a terribly abnormal thing for me to do. I'm rather odd that way, but still strange. He did not want to move. All he really wanted to do was dance on the spot. And that's what he gets for doing that. Any second now, it's going to flash a quest complete across the screen saying kill 10 rats. In case you missed it, I really don't like actually farming in one spot like that with the Hellkite Dragon, or Drake. So I will tend to actually just find a spot that's fun and just plow through it a couple of times, like I am here. I know the area pretty well, and I'm fairly confident in my ability to not get killed. These two spear hollow here are actually exceptionally good practice for your kick maneuver if you need to practice that. Because they're very, very guard heavy and they don't do that much damage. Gotta love that drop attack. Of course, not as much as that parry to the chest. Well, I guess it's technically a riposte to the chest. The parry would be the maneuver of blocking the attack.
Oh, hello. Well, my...
Here I realized how silly I was being. I'm like, oh, awkward. Seeing as it only actually costs like 1k. Or 3k, sorry, but still, I had almost enough after the first couple of kills.
All right. That should...
If you're using the Dragon Crest ring that increases your spell durations, I don't remember which one it is right now, but oh, the Lingering Dragon Crest ring. The Greater Magic Shield spell from him can also be extremely useful, but without it, I find the duration is too short to be of much use. Also, a regular magic weapon is not useless once you get Greater Magic Weapon. Assuming you're on your first playthrough and not your second, regular magic weapon is actually a good normal monster edition, whereas Greater Magic is something you would probably use for a harder encounter or boss. But you can feel free using magic weapon whenever you want with its additional casts. Once you get to New Game Plus, you can actually just buy a second copy of it. In fact, I think you can buy a second copy of it from maybe Dusk, I'm not sure. And you can equip the same spell more than one time and just get additional casts. If you're either farming or just trying to make things a little interesting, there's also a ring I can't remember the name of that increases your casts for all spells. Which includes pyros, but reduces your HP by half. Like I said, it can make things really interesting. Or if you're just farming and you're not worried about dying, then it's handy there too. The frame rate problems come back here with a vengeance. I think they're the worst here than they are in the entire video. Getting right close to the end of the video here. I hope you enjoyed it in spite of the technical problems, and probably because of how badly I did against the gargoyles. I had fun with it either way. I should have new software soon to make this whole process a little easier, probably about a week from now, if things go well.